All right. So today I'm going to speak a little bit about spiritual teachers, feelings of worthiness with regards to becoming a spiritual teacher, and some of the qualities that you need to look out for when assessing if somebody's a good spiritual teacher or not. So the first question is, it's more of a statement, is I want to become a Dharmic teacher, but I do not feel worthy or I don't feel ready. And I think a lot of us feel this way, especially in today's day and age. There has been this explosion of new age teachers coming to the forefront. Everybody's a life coach, everybody's a Reiki master, everybody's fucked off to India and the Himalayas to go and do their meditation and to meet their guru so they can come back and start their Instagram and YouTube page about, spirituality and all of that. And I think a lot of people online, for most of us, it generates a little bit of an eye roll, like, oh fuck, here's another spiritual life coach who's going to teach me how to raise Kundalini, and um, and there's almost this attitude of everybody's trying to be a wannabe spiritual teacher. And dude, I don't really see it that way, man. I don't see it that way. What I see is a lot of individuals who are really getting in touch with their spiritual sides, who are developing like a really strong love and connection to their spiritual sides, and as a result have this desire to share that wisdom with the world. And I think that's a fantastic thing, I really do believe that we are entering into the age of the wise man. Not to mean that we are going to be led by wise people, but rather the wise person archetype in each of us is coming to the forefront. We're diving deeper into the nature of reality. Being curious about consciousness is becoming more of a mainstream thing. It's no longer new age stuff. It's really starting to, these philosophies and these understandings and the path of self-inquiry and self-exploration, it's starting to become more mainstream. That means that more and more people are going to go online and are going to be wanting to share that experience. And I think that's fantastic because it creates an environment where people can come together as a community and share stories, share ideas, share experiences. And that's great, right? You go online and you just see this average person talking about the Dharma, and it's like fucking awesome. First of all, seeing other people who are doing the same thing as me makes me feel less crazy, because the spiritual journey can really make you feel like you are completely losing your mind. So just to be able to go online and realize that you're not alone immediately makes you feel better, and it makes you feel safer to share your own experience. A lot of people feel that they are not worthy enough to become spiritual teachers. They feel like, either their past actions or their current habits and actions um, deem them unworthy, that if they were to become a spiritual teacher, it would almost be hypocritical because they themselves are not necessarily living this ideal spiritual life or whatever. And I just want to tell you guys that that is absolute bullshit, man. Being a Dharmic teacher has nothing to do with worthiness. It has nothing to do with whether I'm pure enough or good enough, or it's got fuck all to do with that. Moses, right? Moses, who was one of the holiest prophets in, I think, the three major Abrahamic religions, in Christianity, Judaism, and Islam, he was a murderer. He murdered somebody, so like, and he was supposed to be the spokesperson for the divine, apparently, and he was a murderer. So, having this connection to Dharma, having this connection to spirituality, and having the ability to share your experience and potentially teach others has absolutely nothing to do with your sense of worthiness, okay? That sense of worthiness that you feel like, oh no, I can't do this because of X, Y, and Z, those are all just excuses that your ego is telling you because it doesn't want you to step into something that's uncomfortable. All right, but you have to overcome that. You have to cultivate courage and you have to overcome that doubt so you can share the wisdom. Okay? There is a force in the universe that wants us to become awake. There is a force out there in the universe that wants us to not only understand the wisdom, but also share it with others. Okay? And this force doesn't care about what you've done, it only cares about your capability to share this effectively, right? There's a saying that was said by Neem Karoli Baba, and he said, a pot does not have to be made out of gold in order to feed the people. Okay? And that basically means you don't have to be perfect in order to teach the Dharma. You don't have to be this pure being, in order to do that kind of good work. The only criteria that you need to know for sure if you are ready to teach this stuff is if you love it and if there really is a deep desire inside to share it. It has to be authentic. It has to be real. You have to be a philosopher. You have to be a lover of wisdom. Okay? It has to be genuine and authentic. And even if you're not a good speaker, right? Even if you're not necessarily a good teacher, give yourself the opportunity and give the world the opportunity to receive your teachings. Okay? Even if they're small teachings, even if it's like, teachings that everybody already knows, it doesn't matter. But get online and share the teachings, because one random person can view your video and say, holy shit, that makes a lot of sense. Fuck, that actually makes me view things in a different way. And if you can get that result with just one person, then you've served your purpose as a Dharmic teacher. Okay, you've served the purpose. You've done what you've needed to do. So becoming a spiritual teacher is more about how much do you love doing this? How much do you love philosophy? How much do you love spirituality? And how much do you want to share it? And if you have that desire, then you are ready. Overcome the fear. Post your shit online, okay? Start practicing sharing these messages. That's exactly what I'm doing right now. Okay, I'm not an official Dharmic teacher by any means, but I love spirituality, man. I love spirituality. I love Dharma. And I want to share it with the world. And this is me trying to do that. And I encourage everybody to do the same. We're entering into an age where we are going to be able to learn from each other. We don't have to go to these holier than thou sages and all these great gurus and fucking pay thousands and thousands of dollars to go to Kundalini workshops and shit like that. We don't have to do that anymore, man. All we have to do is turn to each other for help, and turn to each other for guidance, and turn to each other for reassurance. Oh wow, this person's going through the same thing. I don't feel as crazy. It's very important that people come forward and start sharing their experiences. Very, very important that people start doing that. It was Thich Nhat Hanh who said that the next Buddha will be Sangha, which means that the next point of human enlightenment, the next point of human evolution, will be in a situation where we are all coming together and sharing stories, experience, and insights into the nature of reality. The next Buddha will be Sangha. The next Buddha will be community. It will be togetherness. It will be spiritual discourse and philosophical conversation. And I think as a spiritual teacher, that is the only thing that spiritual teachers really want to do, is they want people to be talking about this stuff. They want to generate conversations about this stuff, because they understand that having an intellectual discourse, a philosophical discussion, when we have philosophical discussions, we first of all fill in the gaps of each other's knowledge, and second of all, it has this tendency to really refine wisdom and bring on new insights. So getting together in groups, having satsang, having sangha, and engaging in philosophical and spiritual discourse, sharing each other's experiences, is very important right now. It's very, very important right now for the collective awakening, whatever you want to call it. So don't ever think that you're not worthy. That's bullshit. That's fucking cuck in your head. You are so worthy, man. You've always been worthy, okay? The second that you became enlightened and you experienced that first little taste of spiritual and mental liberation, and there was this desire to share it with the world, that's when you know you're ready. That's when you know, okay? That's when you know. So get online, man. Share your experience. Share your teaching. Voice your opinion, and do it in any way that makes you comfortable. You don't have to, I see a lot of spiritual speakers do this. They sit on stage and they have their big fancy armchair, and there's a beautiful vase of flowers next to them, and Some have a picture of their guru and everybody sits around and then they do the big spiritual talk. Doesn't have to be like that, man. You can, like me, I'm just sitting in my fucking car and I am spitting the Dharma, bro. I'm spitting the Dharma. So yeah, it's got fuck all to do with worthiness. Don't think you have to be worthy. It's got nothing to do with that. As long as there is this love, there is this passion, there is passion. As long as there's this love and this passion and this desire to share the Dharma, then you are ready, man. Then you are ready. And you can do it in any way that you want. Any way that you want. Sit down and have weekly conversations about spirituality with your friends. Open up a free online group chat where we all discuss spiritual topics. All of these things are going to bring us closer and closer to that big collective grand awakening that all these new age spiritualists are going on about, the ascension into the 5D or whatever you want to call it. Having spiritual discussions and discourse is really going to drive that along. So yeah, man, we all have this teacher inside of us that wants to share our experience. And we got to bring that teacher out, man. And you don't have to be made out of gold in order to be filled with love, man. You don't have to be this perfect, holier than thou being in order to share the Dharma, okay? Like, you don't have to do... I don't even know where the fuck that idea came from. I think it's because, we see a lot of spiritual people and they're all these very... Oh, I'm so holy, and I speak very slowly, and I'm so conscious with my words, and love and light, and no, no, you don't have to be that way. You don't have to be that way. The best hallmark, right? The number one quality of a good spiritual teacher is obvious passion and authenticity. If you can see that this person is genuinely passionate about what they are talking about, okay, that's when you've found somebody worth listening to. Okay, and even then, somebody worth listening to, even somebody that doesn't have that, there's an idea in the Avadhuta Gita, and that idea is basically, it says, get your teachings wherever you can find them. Okay, don't be limited to getting your teachings from only one source or from only one person. You have to be completely open to receiving knowledge and wisdom wherever you can find it. Okay, that's how you're really gonna take your spiritual education to the next level, is when you see the entire world as your guru. Okay, the whole of reality is your guru. And yeah, sometimes we get screwed over by modern day charlatans, but that's okay. Even a charlatan can be your greatest teacher, because it can show you what not to look for. So don't get discouraged, man. Don't get discouraged by those kinds of things. And there's no perfect guru. There's no perfect teacher. Let's learn from each other. Let's share wisdom. Let's have a philosophical discussion so we can fill in the gaps of each other's knowledge, and we can help each other grow wisdom and grow in understanding and grow in insight. So yeah, man, I think the final message is, you're already worthy. You already were worthy. This whole idea of, oh, I'm not worthy, I'm not ready, that's just fucking bullshit in your ego. That's just your ego trying to keep you safe and comfortable. And you shouldn't listen to that shit, man. You got to cultivate the courage to go beyond that. So start off small, post one little video, host one little dinner where you all talk about spiritual shit. Wisdom wants to be shared. Wisdom wants to be cultivated by the masses. Like I said, there's a very compassionate force in the universe that wants people to wake up, that wants people to know the truth. And when you are graced with wisdom, blessed with insight into the true nature of reality, it's almost, you would be doing yourself and the world an injustice if you didn't share it. Okay, so share your wisdom. Share what you know. The world needs you, man. The world needs you now more than ever. So share what you know. Please give us your experience so we can all really feel like a community, But the world needs us. The world needs you now more than ever to share your wisdom. So I encourage you to do it. cultivate courage, overcome your fear and doubt, overcome your insecurity. And for the sake of the Dharma, for the sake of wisdom itself, tell us what you know. Okay, share with us what you know.